Hi everyone, welcome back to Bee's Baby Freaky Deaky Mind. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. And if you don't want to miss one, there's a little bell you can click there so you don't forget anything, or forget or whatever, miss something. Yeah, miss something. So how's everybody doing? It's I originally started this YouTube channel to basically yak about mental health. I haven't been yakking about mental health lately. Focusing on babies. And it's interesting when you're in a really great state of mind, like I have been, you don't think about it. It's hard to remember what it was like until you are reminded. And so I think that's why individuals go to anonymous programs, because even though they're well, moving the camera around a little bit, even though they're well, they still want to remember what it was like. And by hearing stories and sharing their stories with others, it's not for attention. It's not for to take a victim role. It's to remind them where they were and where they can go, right? And so that's why it's important to talk about one's mental health, even when you're feeling good, because I find I tend to want to talk about mental health when I'm not at my best. So it's good to talk about it. And it's strange because when you start talking about it out loud, it almost brings you back to where you were, in a way, right? I mean, the pain of loss, and that could be stories, my dogs, and that's the loss of, in the way of death, in the way of a job, in the way of a relationship, of a dream, of a hope, of what you thought you were building in a relationship. When you lose those things, those are big stressful times. Wally, you come lay down here. You go down. I'm in the living room and it needs to be more loud. No, there's no puppies. You go lay down. Go on. No, go lay down. No, you're not going out. Go lay down. Sorry. But it's just, I was thinking about, and I guess that's why I did, and I got to get back into that old blog that I have somewhere, Freaky Deaky Mind. I have an old blog, Freaky Deaky Mind, or My Freaky Deaky Mind somewhere. And I had all kinds of different little stories or little experiences, little blobs of experiences, or I don't know, that I remember. And I'm going to share one. I think I should do that every once in a while. So this experience that I remember, or that I'm going to share, is when I first started taking medication, and what got me there to do that. And my daughter, I would say, was 2, 3, or just turned 3, because we moved from one apartment. Her birthday was one apartment, and we moved across the hall to the other apartment. So she just turned 3. My husband and I separated. his struggles with illness were persistent and severe. I was struggling with the guilt and the frustration and not having the support that I thought, and the fear of all those things. And because I struggle with an anxiety and depression throughout my life, it increased those things, and I beat myself up about those things, that I was not a good wife, I was not a good supporter, I was not a good mother, I was not this, I was not that, and I should do this and I shouldn't do that, and all those things were there in my mind, and the pressure was heavy. And I remember one particular day, or a combination of 2 days, this is what I remember. All I wanted to do was sleep, and I was doing that for a while, but I had a child to take care of, and that's really hard, right? And I remember I'd prepare food in a little dish, like things, and her little cup would be in the fridge, and she could just go get that, and she would get that, and I would come out on the couch and just kind of doze off and on. And it was horrific, and I shouldn't have done that. And I was sick. And so I remember wanting her to nap and to go to bed and nap. And I got her and I said, that's it, we're having a nap. Well, of course she's 3, she doesn't want a nap yet. And I was so tired, I wanted her to nap, right? And I have this vivid memory of me getting really angry and frustrated with her. And I took her into bed with me and I said, that's it, you're napping. I don't care, you're napping, put your head down, put your head down. I don't want to nap, put your head down, you're napping. It's horrific. She cried and cried. Finally, she went to sleep. I went to sleep. When I get up, I felt so guilty about that. And she got up, we went into the living room, and I still wanted to sleep. I was miserable. And I didn't have the energy to care for her. And she was doing 3-year-old things. Mommy, can you change this doll? Can you do this? Mommy, can you do that? You know, just all those things that 3-year-olds do. And I didn't have the energy, the patience for that. I was not in a good place. And I remember I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And she was like, what's going on? Why, Mommy? She was trying to attend to me like no 3-year-old should. And she was trying to kiss me and bringing me things and all this. And I called my mother. And I think it was my mother I called first. I was upset on the phone. I said, I need someone to come over. I need someone to come over. And I think my mother was away because I remember my dad and my dad and his partner, who he later married before he passed, came over. And they came in, and Dad was trying to talk to me, and I was on the couch, and I was just crying and crying, and Dad was saying, what's wrong? What's wrong? I don't know. I was just crying and crying. I was just in an awful state. And I remember Dad and his partner went out in the hallway in my apartment building, and they were talking and talking, and then his partner came in. And she sat by me, she's talking to me, and she said, your father wanted me to talk to you. Maybe, you'd share stuff because I'm a woman. Maybe there's something there. And they thought I was pregnant. And that's what was going on. It was not what was going on, but they were just pulling at straws trying to figure out what was wrong. And I said, I just need you to take Sophia. I just need you to take Sophia. And okay. So they took Sophia, and then that's what my mother contacted me. She must have got back from where she was, or I don't know what was going on, why she wasn't around at that time. And I think Sophia was with Dad, and then she went with my mom for the night. And then I think my mom, see, it's very foggy, but I believe my mom came over to the apartment and brought me to her house. And then the next day, we went to a doctor's appointment. I got into the doctor, family doctor. He gave me some Ativan and a prescription for antidepressant. All I did was cry in his office. And I couldn't really verbalize a whole lot what was wrong with me. I knew I was sad. I felt guilty. I was frustrated. I was angry. Didn't want to be around no more. The pain, physical pain that you feel inside when you're emotionally sick is real. Like it just hurts and aches, and it's so painful and empty and worthless. And you want to give up. You beat yourself up so bad. You didn't want to be around anymore. And I went back to my mother's and spent the night there again. I took some Ativan, and I remember my mind slowed right down. I was almost just kind of sitting there, my mind was just so slow. She cared for my daughter, and after a few days, I don't know exactly how many my mom would know, I went back to my apartment. And I think at the time, it was like a couple weeks before that medication started to make a difference. And I believe it was Paxil and then lorazepam, Ativan, that I started with. But I will say that was the beginning of my medication journey. And that was the beginning of knowing what was wrong. And to try to get myself back to a healthy place. That was the beginning then. All right, so that is back in time memory of a place in my life where I never want to go again, where it's important to remember, because I know that it could happen again. And if it wasn't for the need to care for my child, I don't know what would have kept me going forward, because that was what kept me going forward. And yeah, so that's one little spit of information that I just thought I'd share out there. And so if anybody feels or is going through similar things, by sharing each other's experiences, I share a piece of me, and in turn, some people share pieces of themselves. That is the whole thing, and how peer support works and how it can help others. because we're not talking on a professional level, right? I am not a professional. We're speaking from, hey, I've been there. Hey, I understand. Hey, you know, we can communicate differently towards each other, and words coming from someone that understands seem to hold a stronger value or of importance of, I don't know. It really does. I mean, I've gone to psychologists and they're fantastic in many ways too, but it is their job, and it just doesn't feel the same as sharing and giving and sharing and receiving of stories. Not looking for advice, not looking for, there's no judgment. You're not looking for advice. You're not looking for, help me do this, help me do that. You're looking for support by hearing how other people have gone through things, and maybe it can help you too. So I want to thank everybody for listening to my little blurb, and that's my little beep, and just a little bit of my past. And thanks everybody, and tune in next time. Bye.